What's up guys, it's Patrick from Purple Park Studios, and today got a quick tutorial. We're going to take a look at making a procedural metal shader in Blender. So go ahead and just hit A to select everything, X and then delete. Shift A will add a mesh and we'll make that a UV sphere. And I'm just going to change these segments here to 64. Alright, I'll shade smooth and then I'll go up here into the shading tab. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit new, and then I'm going to name this material metal. So original, I know. And the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to turn the metallic all the way up, and we're going to set the roughness to about 0.2. Next, we're going to hit Shift A, and we're going to add in a bump node. Go ahead and plug the normal into the normal. And we're just going to grab a couple other nodes here real quick. I'm going to grab a texture coordinate node, and Shift A and a mapping node, and I'm going to plug the object into the vector, and this is just so that I don't have to UV unwrap this. It'll evenly apply the material to the entire sphere. And then Shift A, we're going to add in a color ramp, and then I think one more node here, Shift A, we're going to add in a noise texture. Alright, so now we'll plug the vector from the mapping node into the vector of the noise texture. We'll plug the color of the noise texture into the factor of the color ramp, and we'll plug the color of the color ramp into the height of the bump node. And we get this. And this is not what we want at all, but I mean, it's a start, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the detail up to 16. If it slows your computer down, I found that 9 works pretty well. So I mean, I guess I'll just leave it here at 9 for the sake of this tutorial. On the color ramp here, we can grab these sliders, and if we see there's a white one and there's a black one, and if we grab one and move it in the left or right direction, you can see that it's kind of smoothing out parts of the sphere here and leaving the other parts, bumpy with the noise texture. So with this one, it kind of looks like the smoothness is on top and the bumps are underneath. But if I drag the black one up, I think it should do the opposite there. Yeah, now we have the, the rusty or the bumpy metal parts are on the top. So I like the way this looked here with the white slider pulled into the left here a little bit, something like that. So now it kind of looks like maybe some of this metal has like been rusted into there. But as you can see, the metal on the top is too smooth and it doesn't really look that realistic. So what we can do is we can grab this bump node and hit Shift D to duplicate it, and we can plug the normal into the normal. There we go. And then we can just add in a noise texture by hitting Shift A. We'll add in another noise texture. And we'll plug the color into the height. And you can see that it doesn't quite look right. So what we can just do is we can turn this detail up to maybe something like 4, or you could bring it all the way up to like 9. And then maybe just change the scale. Bring the scale up or down. Play with it till you find something that you like. You might actually bring the detail back down to like 4 or 5. Just play with it until you find something that you like. Go 8 there maybe. And then we can grab the roughness too and pull the roughness down a bit. I'm going to go ahead and actually crank this up to 16 here, just so we get that nice little bumpiness on the exterior here. And if you still you want to get a little bit more contrast, you can go up to your other bump node up here, the original one, and even pull the strength down a little bit. You can just play with this until you get a look that you like. So I think for this tutorial, I'm going to leave that right about there. I do want to show you one more thing here though. If you want to change the colors, like maybe you want this part on the interior here that's all like bumpy and looks like rusted out, so you want to give that like a, I don't know, we'll say like a green tint or something, maybe like some mold's been growing on it or something, if it's like piece of metal out in a scrapyard or something. we can go ahead and we can hit Shift A and we'll add in a color ramp. And we'll plug that one in up here. We'll plug the color right into the base color of our principle. So like down here where we use these sliders to control, our areas of smoothness and bumpiness, what we're going to do is up here, we're just going to be controlling the colors of each, like the smooth color and the bumpy color. So what we got to do is we got to take the color here from the original noise texture and plug that color. Sorry, my laptop glitched out there. Plug this color into So what we got to do is we got to take this color here from our original noise texture and plug that into the factor of this new color ramp that we added in here. And now, if we click on these sliders, you can see that it's changing the color. Let me just move this up here. You can see that it's changing the color of our sphere here. Let me just move that up there like that. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm just going to change this white color to a greenish color. That. And then I'm going to drag the black all the way up. And it's kind of doing the opposite of what I wanted, but you kind of get the point here. I turned the interior black instead of the... But I guess if you were to do it the other way, make this one black, and then make this one on the left here green. Drag this black slider down. Now you can see it's doing what we wanted, and you just got to kind of play with that until you get something you want. You can have it a little more feathered like that, or you can have it super harsh there. So I'm actually going to change this black color back to like our metal-y color like that there, just for the sake of this tutorial here. Give it something like a grayish color here. But yeah, so feel free to play around, with the colors and with the different, settings of the noise textures until you get something that you like. But I hope this tutorial was helpful, and this is the setup I'm using here for the nodes. I'll just zoom in here real quick. So if you want to copy that, and you can tweak it from there, but that's kind of the basic setup I use for making like a simple metal shader. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.